Friday, got to get ready for a really good Georgia team. They had a heartbreaker last night at A&M, losing by 1, and they've had a great victory, beating Arkansas on the road a week ago. So Joni's done a tremendous job there, and they're playing at a very high level. So we were lucky to get out of there the first time, and we're obviously, I don't think we're playing as well as we were, and so we've got to find a way to get it fixed. And with that being said, our kids have today off, and we'll get back at it tomorrow morning. My staff and I are out recruiting today, and they need a little bit of time, and so they'll have today. We'll get back at it in the morning at 9, and get ready for a well-coached and really talented Georgia team.
So Tyler, last night you said you could kind of see that kind of effort coming. What are the things that you see to make you believe that, and then what are some of the things you can do this weekend to kind of get that righted?
Yeah, so Tyler, when you're around your kids all the time, and you'll get this as you have a family of your own. You're around them kids, and I can notice with mine in particular the distraction piece. There's so many distractions in this world, and with a student athlete, there's just so much in a day for them. For us, we provide breakfast for them in the morning, and so we want them at breakfast. They got to be there at a certain time. They got to be in class. They got to be in class on time. They got to be prepared for exams. Then we have a practice, and they've got to get out and eat something, and then get to study hall, and then study hall. Okay, what are we studying? Make sure we got the right books. We're not on our phone. We're not listening to music. I mean, there's just so many things. And when you're young, and you've always been in that structure of a home, and mom and or dad or both are constantly, hey, we're going to work out. Hey, you need to be studying. Hey, dinner's ready. Hey, and all you got to do is walk downstairs or walk across. Well, now you don't have that. There's nobody there doing that. And so the distraction piece is what I notice. I'm around them enough, and look, I love my team. I love every one of those kids. They are great kids, but because we're so young, and the structure piece is something that we're getting used to, it's a challenge for them. And in this world, there's just so many distractions. Y'all have heard me say this before. They got 85 guys over there in football, and they got 20 more walk-ons that want to know when their pro day is. And so it's just I can see it. Our lack of focus and practice, attention to detail. Last night we gave up 6 or 8 points on an out-of-bounds play that we went over for 3 straight days. And that's a great indicator to me of where our focus lies. And so, that's the indicators that I see. And, sometimes you can do all the hooting and hollering you want. You just, until you go through it and experience it. And I'll give you an example of one of our kids last night said, okay, Coach, I get it. I'm ready to listen. That was too close for comfort. That was almost a loss. I take that as a positive sign. Now, I'd like to have all 13 of them saying that, but just one, and she was a freshman, making that comment means that you're getting through to them. And that's the thing, as a parent, as a coach, as a father, you don't throw up your hands and go, I give up. You don't do it. This is what we do. And my staff and I think, are really good at it. And, we do have a young group. It's unlike the last 3 years. And so, as I met with my staff last night after we had our media, it wasn't perfect. We fought all the way. We got a win in the SEC. We're 7-1. We're 19-3. We're 8th or 9th ranked team in the country. Go home. Let's get up tomorrow and let's go back to work. And so that's kind of what it is.
Vic, I know obviously a game like last night's not the way you want it to go, but is there any semblance of that your team grows from games like that when you're in a dogfight and you have to kind of fight and scratch and claw to get that one?
Yeah, you'd hope so. You'd hope you'd learn. You'd learn from that, and you would, you would, and again, part of that growth, I think, is in the comment that one of our players made. And so, I think it's always good when you can be in a tight ball game, you make enough plays down the stretch, and you find a way to win. We haven't had a lot of those around here lately until this year, and now we're going to be in a bunch of them. And so, execution, not making some of the bad foul. We had a couple bad fouls late where we put them on the line, they got the rebound. Well, they got the rebound. We're not going to contest that. We're supposed to be getting back, not contesting the rebound and whacking them so they can go shoot 2 free throws. But that's just again, that's a discipline thing, and we'll continue to coach and teach that.
Robbie? From your point of view and from your staffs, you mentioned this is a different team, obviously, and you had 3 straight years of veteran leadership, just kind of stepped in, 4 seniors, I think, every year. How different has it been for you and your staff to coach this particular group? I know they're extremely talented, but a lot of teaching points, like you mentioned, too. Have you had to adjust with the way you do things, or you keep that same old reliable way of doing things and just have them adjust?
Yeah, I think we've I said it yesterday in a staff meeting. Hey, I really do know how to fix it. I mean, I've seen this before. I know how to deal with it. I know how to fix it, and I'll fix it. If you're trying to teach and mold and mentor and get people's attention, I know how to do all that. And that's what being a coach is. Every team's different. Every year's different. This just happens to be a little bit more different than what we've had in the last few. So, again, great kids. I love them to death. They're so much fun to be around. But, they can make you pull your hair out, just like your kid gonna make your hair pull. Gonna make you pull your hair out at some point in your life. There's gonna be days you're gonna come home and you're gonna think, good Lord, and you're gonna evaluate yourself as a parent. You're gonna evaluate your kid as a kid, and somewhere in between lies what's right, and that's life. And so it's I enjoy them. Last night obviously was a challenge, but that's competitive sports, y'all. Last year we led the country in point differential. Okay, well that probably ain't gonna happen again. I've been doing it 35 years. It's happened once in 35. So special team, and so are we gonna try to have that again? Sure, absolutely. But man, so back to his point of, okay, we're going to be in a bunch of close games, so we better learn how to close out and finish some of those, and we have, we have done that.
Hey, Brian?
What's the biggest difference in your team, the team you took to Georgia a few weeks ago to now? How have they grown, and what have you seen from them in terms of just playing differently than they did in that trip to Athens?
Yeah, that was very first part of conference, and we've always had good first openers and first games in conference. We played well against Florida, and that was our first road trip. And then from there we went to Missouri. 2 really difficult places on the road that we've not had a lot of success, or we've had success, but it's just been like pulling teeth to do it. And so I was really pleased with our focus at that point in time. We weren't in school, if I remember right, and so kind of basketball was it. For this team, look, I learn something new about them just about every day, and so I think what we've seen is how well they can play, and we've also seen the flip side of how they've struggled at times. And so my job is to get that consistency from them every day in practice and every night in the game when the lights come on, and that's the challenge. But I think the one thing we are, and we still are, and we're going to be tomorrow, is we're talented, we're skilled, and so we've got to continue to think the game a little bit. I thought last night we had some moments where we weren't engaged mentally. We were catching and throwing, and couldn't wait to get rid of it. And I call them hot potatoes. I think we were, we've got to slow down. Sometimes we get going. We like to play fast. I thought last night we were playing fast and did some really good things. Joe, when we flipped her in the backcourt and got Chloe out of there, changed the whole complexion of the game. And so, you know, we had some bad decisions, just catching and throwing instead of, man, catching, let me go attack. Once we started attacking and Joe created a bunch for us, I think things got really good. So again, you know, we'll keep working with that and grow from that.
Logan.
Yeah, there was a stretch there in the first half where they got the ball to Maya down in the low post, I think on like 3 straight possessions, and she scored. Just how encouraged were you by that stretch?
Real encouraged. You know, I need to give Jess some rest, and obviously, you know, Jess has shown she can be in foul trouble a little bit, and so it helps to have a big down there that can give you some help, that can give you some minutes, and so proud of Maya's progress. I still, you know, Johnny and I, we've got to spend some time, more time with these fives and developing a little bit better defense down there. I think we've grown to be spoiled with T down there and her agility and mobility, and we're just not quite that agile and mobile down there right now with Yamaya and Promise. And they have the size. It's just a matter of foot speed. If you come to our practices, you'll see those two on a jump rope every day. And that may be old school, but that's just where I feel like we can get some foot speed, and we need that. We need some quickness with our feet. They've got the size. I mean, Chinway's, Promise's wingspan is 7 feet. That's pretty big. But when people are attacking your armpit and getting around you, your wingspan doesn't have anything to do with it. So just keeping them in front, if you're going to get caught behind, keeping them in front and making them score over you, not by you, is a big thing for us. We got to get better at that.
Brian.
Go a little off topic here, but since the passing of Kobe Bryant, one of the big social media trends has been girl dad, talking about being the father of a daughter. You know, your daughter played for you here, now she's on your staff. What's your relationship like with her, and how difficult is it to be the dad when you have to coach your daughter and then when you have to work with your daughter?
Yeah, so first of all, I think my relationship with both Blair and Logan is, you know, everything a dad would want. I love those two so much, and they've been such a big part of my life. I mean, to have 2 kids their sophomore year in high school who have all their friends there, they've been there 8 years, 9 years, to tell you, hey, Dad, you get a head coaching job, we're in. Don't worry about us. I mean, there are not many 15, 16-year-olds that are going to walk around. They're all into themselves or into their friends. I don't want to move. I don't want to go anywhere. I like this. And so that's where it starts. I think that's a great place to start with my kids. And of course, with Blair, I mean, I wouldn't trade my 4 years coaching her for anything. To have her play, first of all, to earn her way, then to play on 2 teams that played for the national championship, won an SEC championship, and again, be an integral part of that. And of course, our relationship, you know, throughout playing was, you know, you guys, y'all should have come to dinner when we were coaching daughter. You know, Monday nights would be our night where we'd have everybody, you know, Logan would come over, Blair would, and we'd have family dinner. You know, my kids grew up eating at the dinner table. That's just how I grew up, and that's how we didn't have one in the bedroom, one on the counter, one watching TV in the den. We all sat at the table and we talked about the day's events and how school was and what was going on. So when they were in college, we would have dinner on Monday night, and Blair and I's conversation would go something like this: hey, how was practice today? Or how was coach yesterday after the game? And she'd go, well, he was all right. We played well and did it. Or, yeah, we didn't play too well. He wasn't too happy. But we always talked in the third sense, because I didn't want to bring, I just didn't want to bring it home to the family dinner table. So we'd always laugh about our conversations. She'd talk about the coach, and so it was a real, and it worked. That's the thing, it worked. And then you fast forward to, she's playing for me, and her freshman year I think she averaged, I'd have to look, maybe 8-10 minutes a game. Her sophomore year she averaged a little over 10, and the kid wants to play more, and, you know, I come home after we get waxed by Connecticut, and she's in the living room with her mother, and she wants to transfer. And so, you know, you get called home, and that's, hey, your daughter wants to talk to you, she wants to transfer, and I'm like, well, have you talked to the coach? And her comment is, well, no, I'm here. I said, well, you're talking to Dad here. You want to talk to Coach, we'll go to the office. And that's what we did. And then the hard reality is, baby, nobody wants to play you more than me, but I can't play you at the expense of my team. And here's what you've got to do to get better. Now, you can transfer right now to North Texas. You can go to a lot of places and win a lot of games and probably be instant off conference. But if you want to play in the SEC, here's what you got to do. So our relationship has always been really special. And the thing is, I have so much respect for her because she went and did it. The things I told her to go work on and get better at, she went and did. She made me play her. I tell my players all the time, if you're unhappy about your playing time, make me play you. I tell Logan all the time, if you want to hit 400, I don't care how many errors you make. I don't care if you can't catch a fly ball in right field. You hit 400, they'll have to play you. And so she made me play her. And so the respect that I have for anyone like that, but especially her knowledge of the game, what she brings to the table, as does Katera and Dominique to my staff, you know, all three of those kids are like my own. And especially with Blair being my own, you know, our relationship is really cool. It's really special. And, you know, a lot of time spent together. And that's time, again, as you guys have your own families, you're going to really come to learn to appreciate that. And I'm going to tell you, just like I said it the other night, enjoy it while you can, because you're going to blink one day and they're going to be out. They're going to be moved on, and you're going to be sitting there at the house twiddling your thumbs wondering what's next. And so, you know, for her and I, Logan and I'm really blessed to have a tremendous relationship with them.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, appreciate y'all. Praise the Lord, go Dogs.